Hi, YouTube. Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Hey, we're going to go to get started with this. I do want to go and say we have a subathon that's going to get started on July 6th. Come and join us. Voting will probably be happening live this coming week. Starting on Monday. So make sure to join the Discord and vote for your favorite show for the subathon, which includes Bungo Stray Dogs. And I think everyone on here would love for you to vote for the rest. Well, not the rest of the season. We're going to finish the rest of the season. But for Bungo Stray Dogs OVA movie, Bungo Stray Dogs Season 3, all of that stuff. So come and join and support. And show them that love. And also vote for your favorite show, anime, whatever else is out there. I have a question for you guys. I have a couple questions. Numero uno, por favor. I was actually really sad. I was really sad after that episode. And it kind of, when everything kind of hit the fan. I was legit, just terrified and sad. And yeah, the amount of trauma and everything that Oda must go through is significant. But the first question that I have, and I did ask chat this earlier, but I want to ask YouTube this. Do you think that Dazai sees Oda as a father figure? Do you or a family figure per se? Do you think that for Oda, Dazai is his other adopted kid in a way? Where they kind of get along, they kind of have respect for one another, but they're kind of looking out for each other in this manner where they'll be there. And it makes me wonder a little bit more. What is Dazai's relationship with his mom? Does he even have a good relationship or not? Or is there a lot of familial expectations that are placed on him? A lot of pressure. Is there a lot of pressure put on Dazai to act a certain way, to meet expectations, to act and react a certain way? I don't know. I've been thinking about it, and it's been driving me mad because it's okay, Dazai acts in a way that I see a lot of a lot of kids that turn into adults that have had parents that have put too much expectations, too much pressure on them, caregivers that were hey, you'll never meet my expectations, what I have for you. You either do this or you're kind of dead to me, those type of parents, and as I'm looking at it, it's making me wonder, do they even understand, for Dazai, right? Does he even understand himself? Does he even understand, who he is? Or is he lost in that? And is that a reason, with all of these expectations, all of this pressure that's kind of tied onto him, this instance for himself to try and find his own identity, his own self, whatever that may be. And by the way, one of the key reasons why I highlight this is, aside from, the harmful attempts that they might have on their life later on, we also see that, even in this, right, what is Dazai? Who is Dazai? Where is Dazai? Why is Dazai? How is Dazai? All of these things, right? No one seems to care that he's a kid. No one seems to care that he is a kid. We're all just accepting. Everyone seems to just accept him as this executive top leader, that has to act at this age, that has to do certain things. But think about it this way. If you were a teenager, if you were a child, and you were forced into this, how would your personality shift? How would you change? Would you be A-okay or would you be lost as well? And even more so, if Dazai were to lose Oda, and twofold, I have a lot of questions here. If Dazai were to lose Oda, and I asked this in the last episode, is that his reason why? Is that a big reason why he welcomes death? Is Dazai welcoming towards death and the concept of even taking his own life, not because it ends his life, but because he'll finally be able to be with his friends and family that he loves, his chosen family? That is a big reason why I keep thinking about all of this stuff, right? It's don't get me wrong, he has that sushi at the moment that he's bringing up, and I'm sure that all of these individuals will grow with him. But ultimately, is Oda his 13th reason why? for finding himself, for trying to go ahead and like, not be afraid of like, we already see that he doesn't really care if he gets hurt, but now more so, instead of like, oh, I just want to end it, it's more like, I want to end it because I have people waiting for me. Because and happy birthday, Desai, by the way. This was filmed during Desai's birthday. Is that your reason why? Is that why you live? Yeah, it's sad, but it's an element to bring it on through, right? Because when you're a child whose life has been taken from you, whose identity has been taken from you, whose choice and willingness to like forge your own path has been taken from you, in the moment that you do, you are branded a traitor from the organization that you grew up in. Is your only reason why because a friend showed you some sort of affection and treated you like a human being for once in your life, that before you were just willing to die because you didn't really have an identity, but now you want to die because you want to meet up with your friend one last time. Yeah, because he was no longer human. Exactly. That's oh oh anyway, I was highlighting all of this because I think that that's a really good like aspect of when we take in Erickson's psychosocial stages, right? And we take in the aspect of like, who am I and where am I going, right? 12 to 18, and even a little bit younger. Success leads an ability to stay true to yourself. Failure results in role confusion and a weak sense of self. So does Desai even know who Desai is? I don't know, chat. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think? Does Desai have fully planned out who or what Desai is, or is he trying to figure it out? Sorry, chat. Allergy season. My goodness. Oh, anyway. I hope this makes sense. I hope you guys are able to go ahead and see what I'm saying with this. Well, good thing you asked, Buttery, because I did have this next one planned. Which is this. How does Desai view himself? At least this emo Desai, dark era Desai. How does he view himself? I'll showcase one. Slave. Hero and villain is another one that's at play here. Elitist sage, victim. What else? Magician, trickster. Look at you guys, right? And here, I'll touch on all of these. You guys ready? Does I feel like he belongs? Or is that out of whack and he just has to follow what is being given to him? Does he just feel like a follower? There you go. Follower. Does Desai have control? No, so he's probably seen as the weird one, as a tyrant inside of himself, and to others as well, because he has no control. He might be an executive, but yet he's still getting orders. Isn't that something? Does he have control over his life, over his over what he can and can't do, over his own freedom, which goes into the next one, freedom. Is he seen as an explorer or as a raider? He's seen as a raider. Safety. Does he have control over his safety? No, so he's a victim. Does he have mastery? No, so he's probably even seeing himself as a villain, and he has to play into this role, because ultimately, if he doesn't play into this role, again, comes in all the other aspects that we're touching on. Someone said magician and trickster. Does he have any, does he have the power and execution to do what he wants, right, when he wants it? Does he have a considerable amount of power, and does he use it for good? Probably not. So he's probably seen as oh, he's just a kid. He's tricking us, right? And we can keep going on and on and on. And as you can tell, it's not looking so good. A lot of Desai's, or dark Desai's features go into the negative side of things. And they go into the negative not because he wants them to be there, but because society and the individuals that he's working for have forced him to be there. That is why. Dark era Desai is an individual whose freedom, whose safety, whose mastery, whose control, whose ability to serve others, whose belonging, whose ability to even have any aspect of self has been taken from him. And he is nothing but a tool at their disposal. Imagine how you would feel when you start connecting with someone, finally, that you can be yourself, just an aspect of yourself. And if that person were to be taken away from you, oof, oof, oof. I highlight this not because it's Dazai's birthday, but because it's important to realize what is going on. And it's important to realize how this affects others, especially going forward. And most importantly, and I think this is a big one, right? And this is my next question. I already have a feeling that Oda's going to die this season. And I have a feeling Oda's going to die this season because he needs to be the agent of change for Dazai. But is Ango going to die this season? Do the sins of the father carry through to their child? Does Oda's sins, right, and will and whatever carry through onto Dazai? Does his ethics and values and all of this carry on through? I don't know. Do the sins of the father carry on through? And even more so, is Ango even going to die this season? That's been one thing that I'm contemplating. Or are his own sins going to bear weight and maybe we'll see Ango in the future season, like season 5 or something? I don't know. I don't know. I have so many questions. But I'm looking at this and it's just like instantly hitting my space as to what it means to exist in this world, what it means to carry on through, and also how messed up would it be if Oda were to die and Ango were to live, despite Ango being like a quintuple agent, and Oda like fighting, who's like life and future and all of this stuff that we saw, like he was trying to be a good guy, ends up falling, and Ango just ends up disappearing and and gets away with anything and everything. I don't know. Sorry, chat. Y'all went like deadly silent, and I don't know why. And I was like, If Oda, just taking your words. We're listening. Oh, Aku, I appreciate you. You're incredible, dude. We're sobbing. I'm sad now. Yeah. We went silent because you're breaking our hearts. We're crying. That's yeah. I don't know. I just keep thinking about this. I keep thinking about a lot of things. I keep thinking about this show and the impact that it has, and how this might all play up. And then finally, another question that I have is, oh. Do you guys see any similarities between Oda and Kunikida? And do you think that there's a reason why Dazai doesn't want to fully, or doesn't fully attach to Kunikida in maybe a way that he did to Oda? I do. And one of the big reasons why is, if Oda dies, do you think that Dazai wants to get hurt at that level, especially if he found someone that he reminds him of Oda? And so he puts on a fake mask, and he keeps getting close to Kunikida, but then he pushes away. He pushes away whenever he has to, right? Whenever there are too many similarities or instances like that, where Kunikida might have a lot of resemblance to Oda, because ultimately you don't want to get hurt at that level ever again. I don't know. I've been thinking about that question ever since Kim asked it in the last episode. And it's like they share so many similarities, and I think that's a reason why maybe Desai's approach. Desai gets really close and friendly with Kunikita, but he always finds a way to like even branch out or even confront him or not get to the same level maybe as a relationship with Oda. Because if Oda were to die in this season, that explains everything to me as to why he's afraid of connecting at that deep of a level with someone. Because connecting at that deep of a level, even while having someone that reminds you of him, and if Kunikita were to die and follow the same path as Oda, that would destroy him. That is a I don't know. That's another one. And then for this week, I have a challenge. I have a challenge for all of you in the Bungo Stray Dogs fan. I want to see your cosplays. If you have cosplays, Dazai, Rampo, Jinji, TB Man, you name it, I want to see your cosplays over on the Discord. I want to see you go wild with it. You can blur out your face, whatever you want. I want to see your best Bungo Stray Dogs. You got to give me a little line, a little monologue, a little something for it. That is going to be my homework for you guys. Is I want to see you in character. You can, yeah, y'all can cover your faces if you're not comfortable with it. I just want to see some acting. I want to see some drama. I want to see an aspect of your love for Bungo Stray Dogs, whatever that may be. You could either choose to cosplay and do a little short thing aspect like that, show off your cosplay, or you could choose to do like a little monologue that we've seen so far, or like from the seasons that we've seen. All right, cool. We clear? All right, let's jump right into it. Sorry, y'all. I'm sorry that took up way longer. I could keep going. By the way, I have like 1,000 questions, and I keep thinking about it. But if I keep going, it's gonna. Should I ask the final one? Yeah, I'd love to see people's cosplays. Yeah, no, me too. Oh, I apologize because I got an email telling me that I should just get to the anime. And it was a Bungo Stray Dogs fan. Yeah. I got an email just telling me I should just jump directly into the anime. That way they can leave and then I can yap endlessly. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. They're like, I want to see my husband on your screen at all times. And then they compared me to another content creator. And they're like, well, they do full screen. They do all of this. I'm like, yeah, I'm not that content creator. This is an analysis channel, not an emoji react channel. That's yeah. I was like, I don't. Yeah. Anyway, we love your yapping. Thank you. Comes in my next element. Atsushi versus TB Man. Atsushi and TB Man. Okay. This is a this is a big one, right? Why I bring it up? Yes, that's a heart. That's a messed up heart, but still, it's a heart. Do y'all think that a big aspect of maybe all of this coming together, right? And I could keep going endlessly, right? Chosen family, different times that they met Dazai, the different elements that may have been like pushed on them, whatever that may be happening on here, right? We can keep going. It is ultimately in a way leading up towards I hate to put it this way. How do I put it? how do I put it? Because we can keep going, right? Chosen, like found family, chosen family, different aspects of self, cognitive distortions. They end up being yin yang towards one another. And so the main thing that I'm getting at is, in a weird way, do you think that Dazai's errors in his past and Dazai currently is meant so that in the future, these two individuals might be able to rely on one another when Dazai is no longer here? In a big way, and then ending up being a yin yang aspect of things, where Dazai doesn't want people to be so lonely. And so in a way he realizes the mistakes that may have happened with TB Man. And in a way, seeing that Atsushi is very empathetic and whatnot, like this is a writing aspect, by the way. Thinking as a writer, how can you help someone grow and find a way to connect with others despite other individuals not necessarily wanting that and connecting with them? You know, you have the Zide, which unites them both under one thread, right? But at the same time, if you keep going through all of this, you have different experiences. It's kind of like like if you've ever been in martial arts under a sensei and whatnot. What unites you is sort of like, the experience of being under that sensei. So I don't know. Is TB sushi a real thing? I don't know, but can I see it happening? Yeah, absolutely. Let me blow my nose real quick. Oh my god, dude. They're so complimentary, though. Yeah, is TB sushi a real thing? I don't know. But can I see it happening? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, TB sushi. Yeah, exactly. I support TB sushi. The other one that I think of is what is it? Renji, right? Rampo and Jinji. That's another one that I've been thinking about, or Dingy, the Zai Jinji. I don't know. Anyway, we have I know my allergies have been awful here. We have ads starting up soon, so we're gonna take a quick little. Be right back. Go to the restroom, grab a drink, grab a snack. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, and all my non-binary pals, we will have Bungo Stray Dogs the next episode. We'll be right back, all right? We'll be right back. Be right back, everyone. Before we get started with the episode, one last question to the Bungo fans. If we ever did a Bungo light novel reading, this goes to everyone over on YouTube as well, would you guys read? Would you guys do the voices for me? If we ever did it at any point in time? I'm not saying we are going to do it. I just have to ask if you guys would come through and take turns in doing voices in some of the chapters and stuff, in some capacity. That's if we ever jump into it. I was just curious about it. I don't know, because some people don't like reading it. Unfortunately, it doesn't do so well over on the YouTube side of things, or even on stream usually. But it'd be interesting. I love reading. Yeah, I'm an Undertale fan, so I don't read, unfortunately. Please, yes, absolutely. Some of us were doing novel readings in the VC. Really? Oh, that would be fun. Anyway. Yeah, not 100% guaranteed. Just thinking about some things. All right, cool. Let's do it. Exactly. Y'all would be voice actors at that point in time. No. No. And every good night is him just like losing an aspect of himself, right? Things that he usually wouldn't carry with him. Why do we get hurt? Why does this hurt so? Oh, is the audio a little quiet for y'all? I got you. Oh. Oh.
静かに眠ってくれ。行ってくる。
I guess the big one is how much of a threat? How much of a threat is he going to be in this regard when everything that you've had, everything that you love is taken from you? What is that going to do to you? What is that going to do to you as an individual? Imagine if someone came through and took away, your kids, your pets, everyone. Yeah. All of a sudden, do you even have the will to keep on living, or are you just going for revenge? And if you go for revenge, then you got to dig two graves. That's yeah, it could drive a person insane. Absolutely.
おやすみ、康介。おやすみ、克美。おやすみ、優。おやすみ、シンジ。
Oh.
おやすみ、さくら。静かに眠ってくれ。行ってくる。
本日はご足労いただきありがとうございます。繰り返しますが、これは非公式の会合です。
今日はお招きありがとう。本職に戻ってからの調子はどうかな？
うちの若いもんをあんまりいじめんでいただきたいですな。ポートマフィアの親分さん。
Why does this look like President Rainzawa here? Wait a minute. Why does this look like the getup that President Rainzawa would use, I'm looking at this and I'm like, wait. He's bald. I'm not saying it's Rainzawa. I'm saying what's his name? Fuck! I've lost his name because you called him always Rainzawa. This is what happens. Fukuzawa, thank you. I've lost his name now because we're always calling him Rainzawa. Yes, not necessarily him, but I'm talking about the getup, the outfit, of things. And it's interesting that, like, hey, you're back at your main job, but is this even his main job? And that's something worth considering,
うちのエリスちゃんがアイスクリームを所望でね。政府御用達のいい店でもないかね、種田長官。
Very traditional, yeah.
ましい話ですな。うちの官僚たちにも土産を持ち帰ってやらんと。オタクの首なんか喜ばれるやろな。
おお。
早速ですが、本題に入らせていただきます。伊能徳務よりポートマフィア王外殿への要求は2点。
Sorry, chat. Oh shit! Welcome on through, Angry Owl Cat. Welcome on through. Sorry, we're deep in theories at the moment. I hope you're doing well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Welcome on through. I just looked over and it's like, yes, welcome. Sorry. So that happens, and all of a sudden we have to take into consideration where this goes. And if we're not in there, then we're not likely going to be over here at the self-actualization aspect of this. Right, we have to understand that at the global scale, it would probably start looking a little more centrical whenever it comes to Yokohama towards a world scale. When we take a look at the world scale, we have to take into consideration what is that actual true self. Whenever it comes to attachment elements, is it secure or not? Is it more avoidant? Which I'm guessing it would fall more into the avoidant scale than the anxious elements of things, which would probably bring up the Sorry, we are cooking. Sorry. Let me just. Also, Owl, I miss you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. Okay, so now that we're taking a look at the cognitive. Ah. Hold on. Hold on. Sorry. 3 marker style. This is. I'm taking a pistachio and I'm eating it. I think this is it, right? This would make sense. This would make sense. If we take that into consideration, doesn't that necessarily mean that if they tie in together, then we're going to have to take a look into the cognitive distortions or defense mechanisms inside of the defense mechanisms, how they project onto one another, which enables your ecological theorem as to whether or not they stay in here. And if they do stay in here, then they transfer over. But if they transfer over, how far would they actually go before trying to go ahead and claim themselves back? Because what is home? And what is Ongo for Ongo in that regard? I think I've got it. I'm crying. All right, chat. Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? Okay, here we go. This is a wild one, okay? Y'all are gonna have to stick with me here. This is absolutely like bad shit, I think, but stick with me here. Okay? You guys are gonna stick with me here? Okay, let's do it. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit about Ongo. See, what is Ongo, right? He is an intelligence agent that is able to play multiple parts at once, okay? And now we gotta understand this. He knows all the cards that he's playing at any point in time. Whether or not he's sweating up a storm, whether he's crying, whether he's moving, Ongo has planned this from the very beginning. Ongo is aware of the different elements that he's able to go ahead and play. And at the moment, we know that Ongo is currently involved with the defense ministry, with the Port Mafia, with himself, right? With mimics, with others. And that's why when we take into consideration who Ongo is, we have to be aware of the different capacities and what specifically he's working for. You see, Ongo's been ahead of the game this entire time. Which is what brought this on. Seeing the sweat, right? Supposedly as these two individuals are meeting. This is not Ongo's endgame, is it? This is not Ongo's endgame at all. Ongo's endgame, he doesn't think about just Yokohama, does he? He thinks about the greater picture. And that's why, looking at all of this, we have to start talking about causalities, right? And we have to start talking about self and whether his resilience in self and where is he in all of this. Because clearly, even throughout this stressful period, he's still acting as someone that is self-actualizing in a way where even while being threatened, he has plans after plans after plans, contingencies after contingencies after contingencies. Which highlights the main factor that he is aware of the greater role that he plays between one ecological system and the greater ecological theorems as whole. He is not afraid of the Port Mafia. He is not afraid of the defense ministry. He is not afraid of mimics or of even himself. Because he knows that in the grand scheme of things, he's been a quintuple agent or even higher. See, this whole aspect got me wondering, why are we watching a backstory in season 2 and then it hit me? And then it hit me, chat. It hit me that we're not watching someone that is afraid. We're not watching someone that is a coward, that is running away. We're watching someone who has played us all. We're watching someone that has led us down a path to fool ourselves. And the author has fooled us as well if we didn't take a Brechtian approach. You see, while we're looking at this, is he projecting? You know what? There might be elements of projection. Is he intellectualizing? Maybe. But then came the real question. Then came the real question. As I was thinking about all this. If Bungo dies, Did he leave a dead man's switch? And if so, how is that going to affect us? But then it came to me as I was watching his sweat drip down in that performance of a lifetime that he was just giving there. Is Bungo working with the Americans, chat? Is Bungo working with the Americans? Does he survive this entire backstory element or whatever and come back in some capacity to either jump in and give the Americans information or come through and save us in our hour of need? Where is Bungo if he survives? That is the question that I have. Anyway, that's some of the many questions that I had about this. Sorry, chat. It was very convoluted. Probably doesn't make any sense. I'm just looking at all of this. I'm like, you know what? I wonder. I wonder about this. I wonder if Bungo is actually more like a quintuple, sextuple agent actually working through. It's sort of where that's going, you know? Apologies. I don't mean to like scream at y'all, you know? I could keep going on endlessly, like, you know, as I was looking at this and I was looking at the performance that, you know, Bungo was giving of a lifetime here. But it's making me wonder just a little bit about him and sort of where he's going on this and, you know, this is in this regard. Anyway. Because it makes sense if you think about it, right? He knows your weaknesses. He knows sort of what's there, what's not, like all of this stuff. All I got was Bungo is a baby girl, and Bungo needs a big smoosh. You think so? You think so? You think so? My main aspect of I might be overcooking, honestly. I might really, really be overcooking in some capacity. But I can totally imagine this sort of scenario in a more simplified way. It doesn't even have to be the Americans. It can literally be anybody else. I can totally imagine a scenario like this where Bungo comes in and instead of it being two different ones, it's like Atsushi and then like another individual, and then Bungo helping, trying to lead an aspect of of others, you know. That's sort of my main regard is I could totally see Bungo coming back through and trying to lead sort of a discussion or coming through and they say is there. Now, do I think that Bungo is a bad person? No, not in any capacity. You know, not in any capacity. I actually think that Bungo, like, I really do think that Bungo is, you know, just trying to go ahead and survive, if we're being a matter of fact about it. And, you know, I actually like Bungo. I think it's a cool character to go ahead and have in there, you know. So, I like him. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, I think it's cool. But that's what I'm saying is sometimes we just need to overcook to the sun. We need to cook and overcook every single capacity. Bungo is amazing. Bungo is amazing. Bungo's awesome. Bungo's awesome. Bungo, my beautiful owl, man. Bungo's pretty underrated. Oh, 100%. 100%. But that's what I'm saying is I don't think Bungo is a bad guy. I think Bungo is just someone that's able to go ahead and come through at the right moment and understand others. So I don't know. I'm really, 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 really interested. Please check the volume of the video. Is it too loud? I mean, it's at the right level on my side. It's at the level it's always been. On all capacities.
まず私 坂口安吾について一切の関知をせず危害を加えぬこと、もう一つは日本に不法入国した異能犯罪組織ミミックを壊滅させること。
一つ目に関しては問題ないよ、
Mm.
でも二つ目は
日本に不法入国した異能犯罪組織ミミックを壊滅させること。
一つ目に関しては問題。
まず私、坂口安吾について一切の関知をせず
I have any interest in myself.
もう一つは日本に不法入国した異能犯罪組織。
Hmm. That's weird. Yeah, on my side, I haven't changed anything at all. Might be the website I'm using, but yeah, no, I haven't really changed anything at all.
組織ミミックを壊滅させること。
一つ目に関しては問題ないよ、でも二つ目は確約しかねるな。とにかく怖い連中だからね。まあ条件にもよるがね。
早速ですが本題に入らせていただきます。異能特務課よりポートマフィアオーガイ殿への要求は2点。まず私、坂口安吾について一切の関知をせず危害を加えぬこと、
Of course,
もう
right?
一つは日本に不法入国した異能犯罪組織ミミックを壊滅させること。
一つ目に関しては問題ない
You
よ。
have no qualms with the first request?
二つ目は確約しかねるな。
If you want to try that. Yeah, because I get the feeling he doesn't like Maury. I got to lower the volume here. Otherwise, copyright, especially here on Twitch, unfortunately. Let me see if it works. Hold on. Sorry, chat. It's one of those things where we got to be careful because audio levels, especially on Twitch and YouTube, you got to be very, very careful about. Because at any point in time, it can come through and bite you in the butt.
たちにも土産を持ち帰ってやらん
Yeah, it's the website.
と。オタクの首、
It's the website. Perfect.
ポートマフィアの親分さ。
繰り返しますがこれは非公式の会合です。
今日はお招きありがとう。本職に戻ってからの調子はどうかな。
うちの若いもんをあんまりいじめんでいただきたい
Please don't torture our junior staff.
ポートマフィアの親分さん。
うちのエリスちゃんがアイスクリームを所望でね。政府御用達のいい店でもないかね、種田長官。
そりゃ微笑ましい話ですな。
今日はお招きありがとう。本職に戻ってからの調子はどうかな。
うちの若いもんをあんまりいじめんでいただきたいですな。ポートマフィアの親分さん。
うちのエリスちゃんがアイスクリームを所望でね。政府御用達のいい店でもないかね、種田長官。
そりゃ微笑ましい話ですな。うちの官僚たちにも土産を持ち帰ってやらんと。オタクの首なんか喜ばれるやろな。
早速ですが本題に入らせていただきます。異能特務課よりポートマフィアオーガイ殿への要求は2点。まず私、坂口安吾について一切の関知をせず危害を加えぬこと、もう一つは日本に不法入国した異能犯罪組織ミミックを壊滅させること。
一つ目に関しては問題ないよ。でも二つ目は確約しかねるな。問題ないよ。
ミミックを壊滅させること。
一つ目に関しては問題ないよ。でも二つ目は確約しかねるな。とにかく怖い連中だからね。まあ条件にもよるがね。
How would this look upon a scenario where, say, even in the future, like, we might have to work together to try and eliminate the Americans? Right, Aka, we haven't gotten too far just yet. How would this work in a scenario where, and even not just the Americans, but like others as well, right? How would this look in a scenario where it's threatening the entirety of Yokohama as a whole? That's where my mind is going into. And even past that, what about single ability users that are so out there, so ravageous, and their abilities are so insane that they can threaten the very foundation or like cult-like leaders of what you have established? Like, what about individuals out there that just absolutely think that everyone else, every other ability user is sinful and it's a horrible individual and is going out there actively trying to like hunt people down or take away anyone and everyone and everything out there? How would that look like? Or even past that, right? What if you do get rid of these individuals at the moment, but they come back harder and stronger in the future as well? What if they come back with like different abilities, right? The stronger abilities, and they learn from this? How do you come through from a situation like this? Like, there has to be contingencies in place. There has to be contingencies in place. It's like everyone, right? Like, how do you come together to fight against a greater threat? Mm. Mm. Surprise nuclear bomb? I don't know. For me, it's kind of weird, right? Because you would expect like the defense ministry, the government, whatnot, like to be actively pursuing crime and punishing them, right? Like you expect just that general mentality of like, if there is crime, being committed, we're actively going to punish you. It's that crime punishment mentality, that aspect of like, hey, the port mafia is there. We need to come through and we need to go ahead and hold them accountable. But seeing as though there's this greater threat, either with like, mimics or others, how do we come together and showcase like, hey, this is our unity. This is how we're going to go ahead and fight them, right? That's how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing this as a reflection of what may happen in the future and holding up a mirror in that regard, right? Holding up a great mirror as to like, hey, this is what happened in the past and this is how it might actually come through in the future. You're not sure? I know chat goes so silent. It's crazy, dude. Chat goes so silent. It is absolutely crazy. Ooh. I know, me 5 minutes ago. Overcooking. Oh no. Also, random silly question for y'all. Silly question. How is this an official meeting between like the most important people in this city and they're doing it in lawn chairs? Oh my god, dude. They're very yeah. It's so unofficial. It's so unofficial that we have to do it in lawn chairs. It is what it is, We're not gonna it's comfy. I don't think you have time to be professional at all in this aspect. Oof. Imagine it broke. Well, they can be comfortable. Yeah.
君が何を考えているかわかるよ。けどやめるんだ。そんなことをしても。
そんなことをしても子供たちは戻ってこない。
連中はまだ余力を残してる。そして奴らの居場所は。
連中の居場所ならもう分かってる。招待状が来たからな。
聞いてくれ。先ほどボスが秘密の会合に出席したらしい。相手は伊能と組むか。この一件にはまだ何か裏がある。
何かなどないよ、太宰。
Whoa.
もうすべて終わった。
小田作、
So then, chat, who's...
君が何を考えているかわかるよ。けどやめるんだ。そんなことをしても。
そんなことをしても子供たちは戻ってこない。
I know the way he's talking.
連中
He's
はまだ余力を残してる。そして奴らの居場所は。
連中の居場所ならもう分かってる。招待状が来たからな。
聞いてくれ。先ほどボスが秘密の会合に出席したらしい。相手は伊能と組むか。
It was with the special ability department. No eye contact. Dazai is trying to meet Oda, but Oda does not want to find that humanity and that aspect with him. There are no eyes in this scene. Oda doesn't seem to care anymore. Well, my main thing is, and I have a feeling that for Dazai this hurts. Seeing Dazai, for Dazai seeing Oda in this way, I can tell it probably absolutely hurts him. I can see, like, I wouldn't even put it past him for Dazai to be scared. Like, for Dazai to be scared of Oda. And if Oda starts, like, walking away, I can just imagine, like, internally, like, Dazai just trying to be like, no, like, please. Because if Oda changes, then that's going to be a huge change for him, you know? My heart would just, like, shatter, dude. My heart would just shatter. If we see Dazai at any point in time, yeah, Oda's in grief and despair, and like that's the thing is, you guys have to remember when you're in grief, this is what happens to you, right? I can totally see Oda or Dazai like trying to keep Oda like the way that Oda is, right? Trying to go out and be like, no, like don't, please don't, like stay, right? But Oda just leaving, right? That's sort of where my heart starts tearing apart. Is we're starting to see this endless cycle start coming through. Okay, let me see. Not that one. Not that one. This one. Because of this. Yeah, stay. Shock, right? These are the different layers of grief. Shock, protest, disorganization, reorganization. You either deteriorate or you recover. Where do you think he is? Chat. Where do you think he is? Yeah. Oda's deteriorating. Oda's deteriorating quickly. And it's making me wonder how much guilt is he taking with him? How much aspect is he taking with him before he starts to cycle again? And even more so, this is why I think that Oda's gonna die. This is why I genuinely think that Oda's gonna die, because he's, as a character, he was the one that was at the top of the pyramid and he's sliding down Maslow's pyramid of needs quickly. All of a sudden, this needs is being broken altogether, right? He's legitimately just breaking apart from the very top, going on down, and I could just see him legitimately just like passing away and being like, Dazai, like, save yourself, right? Save the orphans. Do something with your life, right? Carry on my will. I could see Oda telling Dazai to take on that next step and be that agent of change. Oda is speedrunning. Yes. Yes. People, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh wow. No, 100%. Everything's happening too quickly. Everything's happening too quickly for us, right? He just wants it over and done with. Yeah. Yeah, he does. You're trauma. Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't mean to traumatize your Desire plushie. I'm sorry. I don't mean to traumatize your Desire plushie. Hyper arousal stage. What's this, right? This is my main thing. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Here we go. I can see, like, Desire was someone that was caring for orphans. That was a part of his will, right? That is a part of who he is as an individual. And so one of the big aspects is he's being stuck on this aspect of stress, of rage, of emotions, of everything, right? I could, like, imagine this, right? You've gone through everything and you're going through this path of revenge. And Oda is like dying. Let's put this into like a wild scenario. Oda is dying. Oda has gotten his revenge, and Oda is dying in Dazai's arms. He has one final message to give. What do you think that he would tell Dazai? What do you think that he would tell Dazai? I think he would probably tell Dazai to carry on a certain well and to start living for himself. And that, like, you know, this is his life as well. And that ultimately, like, he has his own vision of like, hey, take care of others, right? Please save yourself, save the orphans, you know, take this aspect of yourself, right? That is the main aspect that you have to take into consideration, is when you're stuck on grief, when you're stuck on aspects of revenge, when you're stuck on everything, how does this flow through? That is huge. Anyway, all right, we continue. Otherwise, and I might be overcooking. Oda might actually live. I don't know. Anyway.
この一件にはまだ何か裏がある。
何かなどないよ、太宰。もうすべて終わった。
It's all over for me.
おかしな。
It's all over for me. Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh. You can tell that they're going in different directions now, huh? They're no longer even looking each other in the eyes. They'll physically turn away from one another, but this is what hurts me. The one time we get to see someone's eyes is when the Zai is saying, I was hoping there'd be something in it for me. And he's staring right at you. You were that something that was in it for him. You were the friend. You were the family. You were the individual that he cared about. And this is why this scene hurts. You know? Aside from the Zai's voice trembling, the fact that the Zai turns around, and this is the only time that we get to see his eye during this scene. That is cementing. That is, yeah, the voice actors did such a great job with it. No, that, like, this is the only time that we get to see his eyes, so that you know how much Oda means to Dazai in this manner. Yeah. Don't tell me that this is how you found your reason to die. Not on his birthday. I know. He couldn't find the reason to live, you know, and especially if Oda dies, so he's found the reason to die. Holy birthday, I'm crashing out. No, Ray! Oh! Oh! And he's out of reach. Oh! Oh! He doesn't even look at him. He just, yeah, don't go. Oh no, chat. Oh no. It sucks that this is probably all gonna have to be muted on YouTube. I'm sorry. When there's music, they don't take too kindly to it. But if you want the full unedited VOD, it'll be over on Patreon. Just saying, because this You know what it's making me wonder though? Like, I know that we're getting really into Desire at the moment. Bungo, Pain, and Suffering, Stray Dogs. Honestly, yeah. Where is everyone else at during this moment, right? Where is Kunikida at this moment in time? Where is, you know, Yosano? Where is Rampo? Where's everyone else during this period of time that is happening? That is like a big element that, like, it's always on my mind, is like, where is the rest of the team at? What are they currently going through? What are they suffering? Teaching, I swear to God. Yeah, Stray Dogs is just despair and agony. Kunikida's probably teaching math.
Get out my heaven.
Rambo! Wait! Oh, Rambo! What the? Wait! That dude, what the fuck? Wait.
Won't forget that my heaven.
Oh! And he's wearing rain boots too. Oh! Oh! Oh!
君何をするんだい。ちゃんと前を見て歩かなきゃダメじゃないか。せっかく社長にもらった名探偵道具が。
The president gave me. Oh.
探偵じゃない、名探偵。
Oh my God! Could you imagine if Oda joined the detective agency? Maybe that was his hope for Dazai, and for everyone else is to find the place that they can call home. Oh.
じきに日本中が僕の名前を知ることになる。
Oh.
僕こそは世界最高の名探偵。
すまなかった。
ちょっと待って。僕の能力を見ればそんな無下な態度は取れなくなるよ。疑うなら見せてあげよう。誰？君、悪いことは言わない。目的地に行くのはやめた方がいい。考え直すべきだ。
Ooh, Rampo!
言ったら君、
You'll die.
死ぬよ。
Yeah, Rampo, I kind of figured that out as well. This isn't Bungo Stray Dogs, dude. This is Bungo Pain Dogs, 100%. This is just straight up like I've had my stories, my whole element of this, right? I brought it up. Now Rampo's confirmed it as well. That's it. That's it. It's been double confirmed. This is Bungo Pain Dogs. Thank you for watching, and that's just the Bungo Stray Dogs theory. You know, there you go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh. Fah. Oh. He don't care now. Whew. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. He's just. Yeah, Oda's just. Think about it. Every life he takes, he's killing an aspect of himself. Just put that into perspective. Every life he takes, he's killing an aspect of himself. And I wonder if at the very end, what little he has left is sort of what he's going to try and impart on Dazai. You know, because he's already kind of killed off the writer aspect of himself, right? No pages, he's already dead. Is there an ability or some type of item or manuscript or thing that allows you to like go back in time? Is time linear here or not, chat? Sorry, I'm looking at this and this is making me think of a number of things. I'd love an ability like that. That'd be sick. That'd be sick. What do you mean? Because it's making me wonder, right? If there's an ability, if there's a like an ability, or even like a I hate to put it this way, like items and stuff that allow you like doesn't even have to be an ability, right? That allow you to go ahead and either look into the past or go to the past or go into the future or write the next chapter of like what may come or what may be, right? What does that mean, right? How does that come through? I'm trying to go and piece this all together, because then it's like, what if part one of this entire thing is to make us think that time is like this, but time in Bungo Stray Dogs is not like this. Time, and maybe Dazai really is dead, but time is actually like this. And so every aspect, yes, time is going forward, right? We've combined this, and this is what we think is the original time, but there's been a lot of splinters and stuff. But what if if there is an ability, if there is something out there that's able to go ahead and help us right some of the mistakes of our past, some of the sins that we've done, the good, the bad, the everything in between, right? If that makes sense, right? What if that allows us to try and fix and correct some instances there, you know, that might be happening in order to try and have a better timeline? I don't know. I don't know what's possible in this world or not. But that's sort of where it's making me think is what, like, yeah, I don't know. I wish. I wish I was. I'd be getting paid bucks, like major bucks, instead of like Avengers Endgame type thing. Yeah. Anyway, that'd be sick. Not gonna lie, that'd be absolutely sick. That'd be absolutely sick. We only voted if it gets voted. Yeah, exactly, Aku. Aku, I adore you. I hope you know that. Here, you have a free heart. There you go. You're going to collect the 6 Infinity Stones. Well, no, think about it this way, right? It has to come towards a level where all of our characters are in either a peak desperation or an aspect of self or yeah, Akko, the BSD marketing. No, you're killing me. Yeah, the marketing genius, marketing legend. Like, they're all in an aspect. Hold on, chat. Hold on. I have a theorem. I'm sorry. I'm stopping. I'm talking a lot because it's making me wonder. We're going to call this. What do we call this? I know. I love you guys. You guys are great. We're going to call this. I don't know. I'm just going to go Ed going beast mode. Ed beast mode. Rawr. I don't know what else to call this. No, just timeline theory. Timeline theory. I'm about to go beast mode here. Let me go ahead and get the Death Note thing going on. Okay. Y'all ready? I think we have 30 seconds before the thing starts. So my theorem is this. We have one timeline, right? Yes. Personally, I call that the Dark Age is actually a black hole. Exactly. So we think here. I'll erase this because I'm gonna need all the space I need. We think we're on this timeline, right? But every timeline has fractures and stuff that comes through, positive and or negative, that is going on in here. And then we have another timeline that is happening inside of this, right? And these are all alternate aspects. Oh, sorry. Ad break. We'll be right back, guys. Quick little ad break. We'll be right back, all right? All right, we'll be right back. Sorry, y'all. Little break time. All right. So what I was talking about is these theorems, right? Of time, of mistakes, of elements of self, or we may not truly be in mind as to, like, you know, how can we correct things, the in-between elements as to what is there, what causalities does that have? As I'm looking further into this, the more that it's making me wonder and think, like, you know, like, what is safe, right? What is safe or not safe? What's up, Mallory? How you doing? You know, how can we go ahead and try and fix elements like this that doesn't just spring off into a further like timeline or thing? Like, if we're to go and classify this as like, oh, right, and then like other ones. By the way, I hope all of you are okay today. I hope all of you are doing well. But going through this, it's just making me wonder: can we fix the sins of the past? Can we fix the sins of the past, or coming even on through to like even like how abilities were made, right? AB, like the start, right? Can we even fix that? I think that's a very real question. Undo or make amends, yeah, or slightly like shift things, you know, altogether. That is why I'm like, amazing art. Thank you. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to go ahead and understand this, and that's a big thing. Like, I've imagined myself, like, you know, for example, if I was a writer, like, let's say that I was writing this show, right? how would I try and convolute stories into elements, and how would we be able to go ahead and like not complicate, but like add to the story and add elements of self, right? And add an element for change. That's a big element. I don't know. Is there such a power or ability out there? Who knows? All right. All right. Y'all ready? It's amazing art. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Cool.
何か言い残すことはあるか。
ありがとう。
Thank you for fighting us. Oh.
司令官はこの先だ。
Oh.
彼も救ってやってくれ。この地獄から。
ああ、分かってる。
おや、太宰君。君の方から来るとは。
How rare of you to come visit.
ボス、小田作を救援するための異能力者部隊編成の許可をいただきたい。
いいよ、許可しよう。
Oh!
理由を教えてもらえるかな。
今、小田作はミミック本拠地で単身による威力偵察を行っています。このままでは貴重な異能力者である小田作が死にます。
君の思考は理解できる。だが小田君はおそらく誰かの救援など望んではいないだろう。
太宰。
それについてはどう思う？
太宰。
太宰君、ボスというのはね、組織の長であると同時に組織の奴隷だ。組織存続のための長であると同時に組織の奴隷。
Yeah, River got it immediately. It's a powerful quote, you know. Mori, yep. Powerful quote indeed. And Mori being Mori is like, Mori being Mori is just. He's such a good character. Yeah. Mori's such an but that's the main question I have. Do you guys think? Well, because Mori, right, is death. Mori is death. So do you think a big aspect of this is like Mori just brings death towards like everyone else around him? Mm-hmm. Vinny, yes, yep. He had slaves. Oh. Wow. Why do I feel like Dazai could actually throw hands with Mori? Why do I feel like Dazai could actually throw hands with Mori? And like absolutely win in this scenario. But all of this, isn't this just delaying him? Like, isn't this just delaying him? Like, let's put this into consideration, right? Who the okay, if Dazai goes over there, then what? You guys win. Please, brother. Please. Isn't this just delaying Dazai? He said, don't walk away while I'm talking to you. Like, that's my main thing is, they're ability users. You send them the individual that's no longer human, that's able to stop this. Uh-oh, guess what? We might be able to go in there and change the tides of fate. Mori's so interesting, but I hate him. Why? Mori wants to look like a stern parent. Why? Like, that's my main thing is why, you know, why go through this? Why, like, at the end of the day, I would have just been like, hey, okay, you want to go do that, then, you know, don't use any of our resources in that matter. Go take care of it, you know, do whatever you got to do. I'm legally bound to not do anything, but if you do it as an agent outside of things, that's on you. That's actually valid too, I think. I don't know, that's a very, maybe he wants to protect him in a way. You think so, Aku? I think Mori's an interesting character. I don't necessarily think he's a bad character. I just think he's an interesting character. A lot of these individuals have been caught in an aspect of circumstance, you know? Maybe he wants to protect them. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. So that, ooh. How much religiosity is brought into Bungo Stray Dogs? Now this is going to get interesting. Because now I have a big fear. Chat, in the old world, right? In the older world, how much religiosity was used? How much of aspects or things are being highlighted through this? And even more so, I guess this goes into my whole aspect or thing of like, you know what, like, yeah, if a person dies, they're able to go ahead and like more seeds come out of it, or their will, or whatever you want to go ahead and highlight it. But even more so, like, we're looking into this scenario. By the way, religion is a huge semblance, no matter where you go. Look at Star Wars, look at anything else, not necessarily saying Christianity or anything like that, but just religion or a religious aspect is used altogether. Either a form of control, a form of education, a form of self, you name it, it's used out there. But for these individuals, is what does this mean, right? And even more so, are there extremists inside of it? Are there extremists inside of this, right? That even view, like, you know, aspects of self as impure, right? As no longer human, right? An aspect like that where you are no longer, you know, within the realms and confines that the world, that God, that society, that others have endowed you with. And so, you know what, it is better to carry out the mission that religion has human failure has entrusted to you, or not, you know. That's a big thing. Where you're gonna wear, like, you know, like, for example, and that's why I keep saying is I'm surprised that society as a whole accepts a lot of these ability users and hasn't given them like a, I don't know, like a scarlet letter or something where they have to wear to clearly identify that they are different from the rest of humanity, that they are no longer human in that manner, you know. So, anyway, I don't know. Ooh. Oh. My dude's apologizing for killing children like he just. What do you mean, Aku? He's apologizing for killing kids like it's he turned in his homework late. Hey, I'm sorry for turning in my homework late. Like, bro, no. No, my bad. Yeah, I forgot. That was so silly of me, you know. Oh. 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 Maury, how about you have this debate with my fucking fist, bro? Are you kidding me? Maury! Ah! Ah! My dude's just having like, Maury, you know, tag me in. We have a lot to talk about. How about you schedule an official meeting, Maury, so we can move on? Yeah. The ultimate rage
ずっと
baiter.
考えていました。ポートマフィアとミミックと黒の特殊部隊。いや、この場合は異能特務課と言うべきですね。この3組織をめぐる対立は誰が操っていたのか。
Right.
この大胆かつ精緻な絵を描いたのはボス、あなただ。その黒い封筒にはそれだけの価値がある。ポートマフィアがどれほど強大な力を持っていようとも、政府機関である異能特務課の機嫌を損ね、弾圧される可能性に常に怯えていなければならない。
So it positions you in an aspect of power, right? So this has to happen, which ultimately leaves a strong distaste, right? Setting everything in motion. He's such a rage baiter.
だからあなたはミミックを潰す対価としてこの証書を発行させる取引を持ちかけた。
It's a power dynamic thing.
異能組織として活動を許可するこの証書、異能開業許可証を。
Oh. Isn't that what the Americans kind of want as well? Hold on. Yes, that's what I thought, yeah. Isn't that sort of like the main aspect as to what they're going for? So it all ties in. It all ties in with one another. Yeah, they tried to... Oh. Oh. Of course, so they got to make it big. They got to make it bloody. They got to showcase the main elements of all of this, right? Yeah, I feel so bad for YouTube. Y'all ain't hearing any of this. But this like this shatters my heart. And it shatters my heart like so much because ultimately this could sound stupid of me, and maybe you guys don't agree with me. I think if this is a conversation that could have probably happened later with Maury, but I really feel like if the Zai was here with Oda, like maybe the tide would be different. Reason living, but they're both dead. Yeah, I really do feel like if the Zai was here with Oda, maybe the tides would be slightly different and in their favor in some capacity. Yeah. Oh. Do I think it would change? Yeah. Well, I mean, think about it this way: if Dazai is there, wouldn't he be able to cancel out that guy's ability to see into the future? And Oda's pretty much a good shot for the most part, right? So many people interconnect in BSC stores. It's great. It's phenomenal writing. Oh, oh. Oh, oh. What if some people don't die? What if some people don't die when they are killed? But people do die when they're killed. No, 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 no. What if some people don't die when they are killed? What if there are elements, especially if you're an ability user or something like that, that lives on, right? Yeah, you might be able to come back. Don't get me wrong. There might be like an ability user or someone out there that's able to go ahead and, like, I don't know, revive or like do an insane thing like that, right? But like, what if, aside from legacy, what if an aspect of you can live on through these singularity events and through aspects of singularity, which actually might go ahead, like, and create little ruptures, right? Little elements in time, a fragment of self, a fragment of perspective inside of that, right? I'm sort of looking at this and it's like, yeah, what if individuals don't die when they are killed? Aside from not being forgotten, aside from elements like that, it's what if individuals are able to live on in those moments, you know? Haunting the narrative. No, like, aside from haunting narrative, like, yes. Yes, what if an aspect of consciousness of self can live on through singularity moments, like Big Bang moments that can happen like this? The ability remains. Mm, 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 mm. I'm like, Aku's getting it. Aku's getting it. Aku's getting it. Oh yeah, so real. I don't know. My brain is just, you know, over frying. My brain is over frying because it's like, what if that's a huge instance of like individuals trying to come together and trying to go ahead and cause a singularity events like this as like pings, right? Pings for the future, chapters, whatever that may be, right? All of this is just one giant book. If you think about it, right? And the singularity events exist within the book and within us, within the anime and within us. Moments in time that are no longer explained within the realism of this world. Moments in time that live in a special moment, in a special place between us, that are neither alive nor dead, but yet can still be brought together. That is a singularity. That is like, you know, a man will die, not his ideas. A little abstract. Yeah, yeah. Like, essentially, instead of like Schrodinger's cat, think about it like Ed's BSD theory, right? Which is essentially there is a special moment between alive or dead, that, you know, the characters are both alive and dead, right? These individuals are still alive and dead in a capacity, you know. And the best way to put it is these singularity moments exist in the in-between space of both being there and not being there. Like Schrodinger's cat, exactly. Exactly. It's place the caster dies and Raymond reigns, yeah, and can potentially even get stronger. So that's sort of what I'm looking at. It's like, why, you know, this ability, this aspect to try and get the singularity to happen, right? Who, I don't know. I might be overcooking here. I might literally just be handing unfounded knowledge onto people, and it might just not be real. You know, apologies, y'all. Thank you, Aku. You're the best. He gave me the. You don't say. You don't say. It was the last volume of a novel you've been seeking for a very long time. It's interesting.
読む前にひどい本だと釘を刺された。
それでどうだった？
その本はとても素晴らしい本だった。
ボス、彼らの密入国を裏で手助けしたのはあなただ。あなたは異能と組む顔を焦らせ、重い腰を上げさせるためにわざと敵対組織を横浜に招いた。
And to finally take an action, yep.
そのおかげでこうして異能開業許可証は手に入り、事実上政府から非合法活動は認可され、厄介な乱暴者は小田君が命を賭して排除してくれている。大金星だよ。なのに君は何をそんなに怒っているのかな。
小田作が養っていた孤児たちの存在をミミックにリークしたのはあなただ。小田作をミミックの指揮官に唯一行しうる異能力者として敵にぶつけるために。
太宰君、君はここにいなさい。
I don't gotta do fucking shit, Maury. Like, at this point in time, I don't gotta do fucking shit. Like, no, yeah, need to. Yeah, most desire grounded. Yeah, I'm about to go in there. I'm about to like just absolutely rip into this world and like beat Maury myself. The Zaya is there, so he can help me out. My goodness, the Maury beef is real. No, I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna straight up fight him. Yeah, I need an organization. I need my organization meat shield. We're all jumping Maury. Maury, you're so conniving. I love it. Well, I guess comes in the question is Maury... Well, Maury is definitely on the antisocial personality spectrum. Yeah. Maury is 100% on the antisocial personality spectrum. In the olden days, we would probably either ask, is he a psychopath or a sociopath? Yeah, I'd actually wonder, Maury, huh? What made you this way? Don't tell me, right? There was probably a bad breakup or somewhere along the line you met this really cute girl and you ended up hurting her. And then an aspect of yourself got hurt because you were thinking, oh, what if I had a child? You know, if I had a child, maybe I could go ahead and raise them in some perspective. And so you ended up pushing a lot of this internal messed up feelings onto others, right? Because that's the only thing that you've learned how to do, right? From a very young age, what mom and dad ended up not loving you 100%. You got into a war thinking that would help you out in some capacity. You ended up hurting others because that's the only way that you found any sort of emotion or self or whatnot, right? So you ended up traumatizing those around you, those individuals that you cared about, those individuals that you thought about as family, someone that you thought about as a sister, as a lover, as anyone out there, right? So you end up literally isolating yourself and creating this system of hurt and pain because that's the only way that you feel any emotions. And oh, you have an ability. Oh, what is this ability? Oh my goodness, don't tell me that you can conjure up and summon this cutie little patootie, that's the only semblance of humanity that you can really showcase. Because everywhere else, you got to show some aspect of manipulation because that's easier for you, right? It's easier for you to put up these walls of fakeness and having this mask, right? As opposed to really being yourself and allowing yourself the opportunity to be hurt. Oh, Maury. Oh, I got to give myself a memento Mori here and wear cosplays when I go outside because people wouldn't necessarily like that, right? People wouldn't like that. Maury, tell me, would younger you be proud of where you are today? Is that what you've done? Oh, yeah? Oh my God. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I could, I could go in here and you know, try and destroy this man in any capacity, you know. In any capacity. That's the main element is Mori as an individual in this instance, it's do as I say, not as I do. It's I don't even know, bro. I'm just pulling out of all the inferences, references, and stuff that we've seen here, and trying like try and get him to react. Noted. Don't make it angry. All right. I could keep going endlessly, but that wouldn't make any of us happy, right? Burn him, destroy him. Yeah. I don't know. Just how OP a therapist in the Bungo Stray Dogs would be. Keep going. Okay, fine. You want me to keep going? Let's fucking keep going, right? You have you have 3 versions of Mori, right? Let's talk about old Mori. Probably a Mori that we don't fully know about. This is an individual that probably had a lot of relationships. Probably had individuals in there, right? Let's talk about this, right? This Mori was probably somebody that got hurt, right, and ended up traumatizing others in a capacity that like made them hate him in some way, shape, or form, right? He got hurt. But we'll call this we'll call this an aspect of like old Mori, right? Oh, Grandpa Mori. Yes. Like there's a cycle of pain, there's a cycle of abuse. Hurt people, but in this element, some way, shape, or form, Mori got hurt, and Mori didn't know what to do with these feelings because Mori's been hurt since he was a child. Mori was always told if Mori was able to do things, he might be able to be liked and cared about. Don't we know that people hurt people and elements and stuff like this? And yeah, there's an aspect of an abuse cycle in here. There's an aspect of a trauma and abuse cycle in here that's been cyclical happening, right? So it probably kept developing, and then some capacity. I'm assuming that there was a big event. There was probably like my aspect of things, the older war, the older elements of stuff that was happening inside of this were he had to become this individual that we currently see today, right? Where he's currently had to become the individual that we currently see to them, because ultimately it's better, it's easier for him to put on this mask and for him to live with the trauma cycles that comes through. It comes in, when I'm with his powers. Oh, where's my child, right? Fucking child is the only semblance of normality that he can have. So hence why he dotes and acts as this overprotective father, because even though this child is not even real, right? He has to go ahead and act as though this child is real, because that's the only way that he can keep a semblance of himself alive. So we look at this individual. We look at somebody that's learned to put on a mask, that's learned to go ahead and say, oh, I'm this cold dude, I'm so manipulative, and I have to keep, because hurt people, and if I don't take this advantage, if I don't take this pain, if I don't take this element, if I don't take this, this advantage here, if I don't do, what needs to be done, someone else will do it, someone else will hurt me because I've been hurt in the past, and I've been hurt once. A rat is a rat, like he just starts going all of this elements of like what torture is and how he's been a tortured soul, and these elements of like, no, it absolutely is. The more that we look at this, right, we have to understand that Mori is the type of individual that doesn't understand that different people have different circumstances, and so he's in there, right, and he's just like ripping at himself, and like poor woe is me in some capacity. But inside of this altogether comes in this other element, right? It's like, oh, my poor sweet summer child, where are you? Oh, I gotta dress you up because, oh my goodness, this is what I would be if I was a dad. And you'll never leave me, right? You'll never leave me, because ultimately, you can't leave me, because, you hold that aspect of myself in there. Oh, no, yes. And on the outside, it's hey, I am playing 5D chess with everyone, and I have to be this manipulative, hurt individual that's being a kind of a psychopath, sociopath, if we're being a matter of fact. As long as I take this next step ahead, I don't care who gets hurt, because ultimately, as long as my cutie patootie doesn't get hurt, I will be fine. But that is how I would destroy him. And that is exactly what Evil Ed would do. I don't care how or when, but I would make sure that this individual is broken to a fundamental aspect. a core where he can no longer have that older aspect of self, right? Where himself is seen in a mirror and in a way where he would quite literally shuffle and crumple at himself. That's the main regard. You come in and you showcase, you only turned into this individual, probably because out of a past event, an abuse cycle, something that happened. You're still just a scared little child who's playing house, who's playing pretend, who thinks that you have to fill in big britches, big shoes, because ultimately the real you is as small as an ant. And that is the reality of it. And ultimately, if we take away your child from you, what's left? What's left but a man playing house? Evil Ed is a menace. Oh, this is so tough. Someone call CPS on Mori. Oh. What's left? You love this? The thing is, I actually love him as a character. I actually think that this is great as a character. I think he's phenomenal. I think as a character, he's pretty interesting, and it brings a lot of spice to this world, right? I love him as a character. Now, if he was IRL, I'd probably be, actively working to destroy him. But yes, would you like to have? I've had many. I'll showcase this without HIPAA breaking anything. A long time ago, close to 8 years now, 9 years, 10 years, I had an individual. How do I put it? Individuals on the antisocial personality spectrum at times don't care. And it could be a bit tricky, and you have to call it out, right? Now, if they really want to work on themselves, that's awesome because you can help them out, right? But you have to be really careful as a therapist and as a psychologist, because unfortunately, this is where you get a lot of. I'm sure you guys have seen them, which is like, "Hi, top 10 dark psychology techniques to use in order to win over her heart. Hi, top 10 dark psychology techniques to pick up guys, girls, and non-binaries on the street." Like that's where you get a lot of these weird individuals that come through on like the TikToks and the YouTubes and whatnot that come through and like get a lot of like weird elements, and like they'll try and come through and learn from like therapists or psychologists and stuff in order to pick up tips and tricks, not necessarily for themselves because they would never hold up a mirror to themselves, but a mirror onto others, because ultimately for them learning how to go ahead and use it on others means that they gain an advantage. So if an individual that comes through and actually wants to learn about themselves and actually wants to take the process and the journey of being self-critical and taking an aspect of self-healing, yes, absolutely, right? We can help out. But just a quick story on this, right? Had an individual come through that was on the antisocial personality spectrum, was married, right? And at times, during couples therapy, you can have individual sessions that come through into joint sessions. And in the individual sessions, it was the partner that would come through and they'd be like, "Hey, I really want to go ahead and have a session because, this and this is happening. I think they're cheating on me. We have 4 kids together." And I bring it up to them and they say it's part of the job. It is what it is, so far, so forth. And I don't think that they're recognizing that it's really wrong. And it's like, well, how do you think that this will help out, right? And in comes in the couple session, and they're like, the individual's like, "Yeah, you know what? I really feel bad." And it's like, okay, at 180. And it's like, okay, well, let me go ahead and have a session with this individual as well. Let's see what's going on. And they're like, "Oh, I have 3 other families. And I don't want to lose the position that I have inside of this relationship." It's like, if anything, how about I pay you so that I can just stay here and I'll check in. I'll pay you, for the hour. I don't care. Just say that we've had a good session. So I'm like, that's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. And it's like, we're gonna have a confrontation about this. Because ultimately their whole aspect is they're playing chess, right? And they think that everyone is a movable piece, right? And they think that with money or with power or whatnot, they can have individuals do what they say at any point in time. And that's why I highlight it, right? Is I actually like Maury, right? I actually like characters like this, and I know I just went off on him in that regard, because ultimately, I mean, we have to, sometimes we have to understand that it's a bit, but we also have to understand that, like, when it comes to characters like this, there are individuals like this. There are individuals, you know, outside, out there, that can do this, right? That absolutely do this. There are individuals that do this, and that's what I'm saying is, and sometimes it's not even by their own fault. It's by, you know, anything and everything that's happened before in the past. So can we have some empathy for individuals that may have been hurt, that may have gone through stuff? Yeah. As a character, that's my wife. As a person, please God, no. Exactly, Kimch. As a person, oh God. You know, as a character, it's like, you know, you have to have empathy. And even as a person, you know what? Like, if a person's actively trying to better themselves, and, you know, my heart is there, and, you know, for empathy and for everything, you know. But if it's an individual that's not, like, openly and willing to change, that becomes a little difficult, you know. Anyway, shall we continue?
それとも彼のもとに行く合理的な理由でもあるのかね。
言いたいことが2つあります、ボス。1つ、あなたは私を撃たない。
Oh.
部下に撃たせることもしない。
どうしてそう思うね。
利益がないからです。
君にも私の静止を振り切って彼のもとに行く利益などないと思うが。
それが2つ目です、ボス。確かに利益はありません。私が行く理由は1つです。彼が友達だから。
Oh. 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 Is it weird of me that I'm really excited to start the subathon and finish off season 2? Like, that way we don't have to wait on a weekly basis to do Bungo Stray Dogs, and we can jump through and do it like season 2 on an everyday basis. I'm so excited. My goodness. Oh my god, this is just getting fucking hype, dude. This is just getting fucking hype. Like, are you kidding me? Like, not crazy, totally understandable. Dude, no, the people in the Discord channel can tell you, dude. Like, I go in there and I'm over here like I had a dream. I thought about this, and I'm like running it through them. I'm like, what do you guys think about this, right? Because they've been at it for like 900 plus hours, I think, or something like that, right? And like, it just makes me go fucking insane. Like, I go in there and I'm like, guys, what do you think about this? What's your favorite authors, guys? Like, you know, I'm just going insane. I'm just going absolutely insane because it's a week. Right, and I need to have this on an everyday basis. You know, I need to have like I need to be able to go in here and like have the next episode. That's what I'm saying is, yeah, I'm about 940. Like it's awesome. People live to save themselves. You will understand that at the own moment of your own death. Yeah, some individuals do, but not all. You know, sometimes by saving yourself, it might mean throwing your will onto the future. You know, there's a lot of ways that can be interpreted as. America, home. Chat. America, home, few. Smoke. Busy. Bus. Unwavering. Bone. It's kind of making me afraid that if this is going, it's kind of like two ends in that capacity. And it, I'm kind. I thought that said apple. I was like, what? Applige? I thought that said apple for a second. I was really scared. Move done. Obama? Oh, it says Obama. Move universe. I was scared, dude. I was scared. I thought that I was like, what? Ain't no way. It says Bama, Bama. Universe Gatsu Gabure move. Failure. Whoa, that flashed really quickly, but it did say failure. America. Yeah, America's clearly there. Match. It says though not everything is fully soft hike, fully fleshed out. And it's kind of like, the future, right? Manga, neko manga. You low. So it's kind of like scrambled, all together, not necessarily perfect. Which is making me wonder, like, they don't necessarily have a clear understanding of what may come in any capacity altogether. They're just cogs in a machine at the end of the day, which is going to kind of serve a higher purpose. And maybe is this the main aspect of what may come in the future? And then this is kind of like pushing it out there, considering that like all of this in a big way is because Maury decided it to be this way. If America might not just come through and threaten, or, reading from the words that are in here, threaten to destroy or get close to destroying Japan or Yokohama in some capacity, because at the end of the day, he sent to these individuals to go and destroy themselves. And inside of this, there's move, there's done, there's like all of these elements that are being highlighted in here, words that aren't fully complete, but yet in the future, they may be complete, So how much of this may actually be an illusion towards the future, and what you've sent these individuals that thinking that they're cogs in the machine, but yet altogether this might just lead towards like a grand like destruction of things, right? Like a great destruction of anything and everything that you have on here, unless you're willing to change, right? Is that code or something? No, it's words. It's scrambled words. Acknowledgement, at least, and then it had America beforehand. It had Neko manga. Whole. Socum. Knocked. Bama. Apple. Mole. That's another one that's up there. Yeah, there's English words in here. No Makoe. Now I think about the man who gave me the book, knew that I was a killer. Yurigatsu. Sorry, chat. I know I'm taking a while here, but there's so much to it. Move, done, apple. Move, done, apple. Yeah. Bones. What is the thing with apples? It keeps popping up. Like it keeps coming and going. Move, done, and then apple J keeps coming on through. Move, like bone, apple is one of the big ones that I keep seeing. Home, right? As though trying to find a home. That's a big one. America was another one. It's like an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Match genome view. America. Oh. Interesting. I'm gonna ask a question. I didn't think to do so at all. There's been a lot of aspects of like, the words that we keep seeing pop up continuously. Clout, Den Faunos, Kakyo, which at times, like some of them do look like scrambled up letters. At times it looks like different styles of letters, right? Ifon, right? Dodane. Some of them look like Old English. Some of them look like current English. Some of them actually even look like Russian in my perspective. And some of them just look like filler words. It all looks like it's all mixed in there. But some of the clear words that I keep seeing is America. I keep seeing America. I keep seeing bones. Misspelled apples, misspelled moles, misspelled aspects like that. Just so it's how big of a threat is America? And are we facing a Moby-like threat? Like a threat so big that it can absolutely threaten the foundation of the detective agency and the port mafia as a whole, unless they're able to go ahead and team up all together to stop whatever is coming. Because ultimately, I know, right? I know we got Donald Trump there, coming on through and trying to go ahead and bring everyone in together, whatever that may be. But how big of an element or a threat is this? Because I'm looking at this and I'm looking at the foundational levels as to what is, how much, of everything that's in here. And I'm like, okay. It's for mine, scroll. Oh. Apples. I don't know. How much? So that I would stop killing. Natsume Soseki. Isn't this the imagery that the orphanage uses? Yes, similar. At their time, our country was already entering peace talks. Labeled rebels, yeah. There was a game that put it greatly, right? The greatest enemy What do you think the greatest enemy that you will ever have? Yourself is one of them, yeah. The times. Evil Ed, I wish. Is the times. By that meaning that, like, at one moment you might be a hero to yourself, at the next moment you're gonna be like an absolute like evil hatred individual, right? The times may see you kindly, may see you just in one moment, but the times may also all of a sudden want to play ads. The times are some of the greatest enemies in deployment of things that come through, and it's a very real concept, where ultimately you think you've done well, and then in the future people might judge you for what you've done. Time is your weakness, not gonna lie. Yeah, the sads as well. Oh, sure. Not at that point. I mean, it's yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oh. My heart. Perhaps he could have. Maybe if there wasn't this much pressure and weight on him. Maybe if there wasn't this much everything on him. That's crazy. By the way, I have to state this. I am gonna delete any replies in the suggestion section of people suggesting an anime or a game to me. I don't want to see any replies or anything like that. If you're gonna go ahead and do a recommendation, it's just the paragraph recommendation. No, oh my God, Lena, I think that is such a fantastic anime or video game that you've done. Whatever. Because I don't want to get influenced by that. I just want the straight anime or video game recommendation, and no promotions from mods about an extra game or whatnot on it, please. I'm trying to keep it as fair as possible so that way I go through everyone. Yeah, agree? It's cool. All right, I guess we're back. I'm just trying to make sure that it's fair for everyone. All right, let's do it. We're gonna back it up a little bit here. Wandering a Wasteland. Yeah. Oh. You have a different choice, yeah. Is Bungo a 2-part or a 3-part series? It did not say farewell to my friend. Oh, I did not say farewell to my friend. Oh. Oh. Because what I'm thinking is, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if he does a 2-part series and then he leaves a 3rd part up in the air in the same way that, like, it's kind of happening to Oda. Part 2 of 3. Oh, to the man who is my only friend. To the man that was his only friend. Dude, why do they gotta hurt us like this? Why do they gotta hurt us like this?
Sakanosuke, 最後まで素晴らしい弾丸だ。
Fuck. Oh no. Oh no.
バカだよ、小田作。君は大バカだ。
Oh no.
ダサい。お前に言っておきたいことがある。
ダメだ、やめてくれ。まだ助かるかもしれない。いや、きっと助かる。だからそんな風に。
聞け。お前は言ったな。暴力と流血の世界にいれば生きる理由が見つかるかもしれないと。
ああ、言ったが、そんなこと今は。
見つからないよ。自分でも分かっているはずだ。
いや
人を殺す側だろうと救う側だろうと、お前の予測を超えるものは現れない。お前の孤独を埋めるものはこの世のどこにもない。お前は永遠に闇の中をさまよう。
小田作、私はどうすればいい？
人を救う側になれ。
ー。
どちらも同じならいい人間になれ。
Be a good man.
弱者を救い。
Stop. Oh, he was his reason why. He was his reason why. He was his agent of change. Oh. Oh, my heart. Yeah, save the orphans. Yeah, this hurts. Oh. We gotta protect the orphans. Save the weak, protect the orphans, be the agent of change there. Oh no, this hurts, dude. This hurts. Oh.
孤児を守れ。正義も悪もお前には大差ないだろうが、その方が幾分か素敵だ。
なぜわかる？
わかるさ。誰よりもわかる。俺はお前の友達だからな。
Oh, and he hits him with that, dude. Happy birthday, Dazai. Oh.
人は自分を救済するために存在するか。確かに。
Because you're passing on your
そ
will.
の通りだ。
Ah. The bandage came off, and now Dazai is whole. Now he can see clearly again. Now that he lost his friend. He's reborn. Which makes me wonder how many times has Dazai had to be reborn, right? Come through to find themselves or trying to find themselves. Oh, yeah, yeah. And it's his birthday today too. That's why I'm like, why you gotta do this, dude? and the night comes. Are you okay? No. No. I'm not okay. Why do you guys do this, dude? Why do you guys like... You guys just bring in pain, bro. Like, you guys just bring in so much pain with your show. Why do you do this, dude? That's it's what we live through. Like, no, bro. I'm fine. You know, you guys just, yeah, welcome to the BSD family, I guess, right? Way to like bring us through and just absolutely like destroy. It only gets worse for Pidge. Pidge, no. Oh, here's the thing though. Dazai has to wear that mask now. And it has to continue on for the future. Not for himself, but for his friends. Bungo straight depression. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah. Two weeks later. Dude. Yeah, with too many workplace regulations. At least 2 years to get a blank slate. Oh. Oh. It's a man of integrity. Oh. Chat. Yeah, we see Dazai. But really, that is a mask of Oda. Oh, dude, yeah, ow. Ow. Ow, dude, because Dazai has his eyes closed, so you can only see half of it, but that is actually the mask that Oda, he has to wear from now on is Oda's mask. That's why I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, dude, I'm a mess, dude. I've been crying since like earlier because it's ultimately, it's a weight that he has to keep on him to try and find happiness. Oh, why? Oh. Can I do work that saves people? And the story resumes 4 years later. Oh, we're pausing there. My God, dude. Everyone. The phenomenal little aspect in there. Insane episode. We're close to 3 hours of just craziness, analysis, everything. That was happy birthday, Dazai. Absolute peak. Absolute peak. Absolute peak, everyone. Oh. Absolute peak. Yeah. Cinema, if I do say so myself. Absolute cinema. Wow. What'd you guys think? What'd you guys feel? Did you guys cry as well? I hope you guys cried as well. I hope you guys are you guys felt a little something in your heart from this. It's so good I cried. I hope I didn't make it worse for y'all. I will start up the stage. It's going to be a short one, guys, because I got to go cry. I got to go rest. There we go. I got to go rest. We'll have like 20 minutes. I'm trying to go ahead and hold it together. I'm trying to hold it together at the moment. I'm doing my best, Yeah, I need a break because my brain is still like... We'll do a 20-minute stage, if anything, Cry with me, Bungo Stray Dogs, I guess. I'll name it that. Hi. Hold on. Here we go. Hi, everyone. Sorry, guys. We're only bringing up the mods on stage for this. So we can ask her questions and go accordingly. If you guys have any questions, you guys can ask the mods as always. Vince, what's up?
Hello.
Hi. Y'all are evil.
Hello.
Y'all are
I'm
evil,
sorry.
like straight up.
For some reason, I didn't answer the first time. Also, hello guys. Are you guys okay? Ed, are you okay? I need to ask it.
No, I'm gonna go lay down
no.
after this. Like,
Estabas enojado, estabas llorando ahora, pobrecito.
No.
No, it was a sad story. I know. Don't wait. I don't want to seem like I'm making fun. No, it was really sad. I was like, oh wait, give me a second. Let me. Wait, that's not. Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, so. Okay, so again, my impressions. It was really sad, man. I still wanted him to survive in one way. I was like, oh, dang it.
I think Kim wants up.
No, Kim has been.
For some reason,
Yeah.
Let me see.
Oh, wait. Okay.
Oh, maybe I have to. Ed?
No, I've given them the invitation to come up. I don't know why it's not allowing them. That's kind of weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
You can Kim log off, then log on again, maybe. Or not.
No, yeah, might be that. Kim's getting out and then coming back in. See if we can get you on real quick. Okay, yeah. What a way to break my heart, Rain. Vince.
Oh, okay, okay.
Well,
Okay, I'll step down. Sorry, guys. So you again, it self care after today. Bye, everybody.
bye.
Bye, Lena. But also, yeah, guys, wow.
Okay. First of all, I am sorry. I had to put you through this.
Yeah, why'd you have to put me through this, Rain?
I'm genuinely sorry. This was one of the saddest parts, and the fact that like the timing, it's on Dazai's birthday. Like
What the
it's,
fuck? Yeah.
like this was supposed to be next week, but somehow divine timing.
Yeah, this
We're
timing is
here.
insane. Happy birthday, Dazai.
Oh.
I'm gonna say this again. Oda's my favorite character, and he's been my favorite character for like 10 years. And I hope you see why a little bit.
Yeah, he's great.
I think he can.
But like, what do y'all think about Dazai having to wear Oda's mask now? Like going forward, that's tough.
So the thing with this, I have a lot of thoughts about like this whole like those last like couple minutes and like Oda's last words and stuff. One thing is you kind of get this in the conversation with Oda and Jeed, where they're kind of like, oh, was there a chance for me to have changed the way I live and stuff like that. And like ultimately they're two people who ended up not being able to do that, right? But I think with the way that Oda kind of like passes on the torch, so to speak, to Dazai, I think one of the big messages here is that you are always capable of changing or changing the way you live, but you just have to keep believing that you can and take that step forward, you know?
Well, you gotta have an agent of change to be able to change, right?
Mhm.
And that's sort of where it's like, you know, for Dazai, it was Oda, because Oda passing away kind of like cements that landmark decision. But who was there for Oda to make that big change?
Well, it was when he stopped killing. I guess that was Mr. Natsume.
Yes, but did he make a change, or
I would say he did, but again, it's sort of that thing. He was so broken by the kids dying that it ultimately kind of
so he relapsed?
yes, I would say so.
We could say so, yeah.
I don't know if relapse would be entirely correct, but it's sort of like I said this the last episode, but Jeed kind of had this goal of making Oda kind of fundamentally understand why he's searching for death the way he is and why he doesn't see a way forward other than dying, like while fighting. And I think it's kind of like when Oda lost the kids, he was put into that mindset. So I wouldn't say like it's like a relapse to like how he used to be, but it's kind of a new type of pain, I guess.
Well, relapse in general means going back towards a previous state of being, right? And if Oda, before meeting the individual, was killing people and he went back into that state of killing people without using any of his coping mechanisms and anything like that, then it is a relapse, right? And it's not saying it's a bad thing. And by the way, relapse doesn't always have to do with addictions. It can be with like 1,001 things, you know, inside of that. But I highlight it because for me, it's like, at what point in time do you think Dazai is going to relapse? Do you think that? Because it's we can't always keep up the perfect mask, you know, and sometimes it might not feel the greatest when you're going forward, and you think that, like, you know. I'm even scared that something similar might happen to Dazai and he has to make a choice. I don't know. Dazai loses his kids, and it's like, what will Dazai do?
Yeah. It's like, oh my god, I have like 10 billion thoughts about this whole flashback thing. It's so hard to like get it in order.
Do you think like okay, well in an element like this, do you think that like Dazai would push forward and die like in a similar aspect like Oda did to try and bring future change? You know, or do you think that Dazai would try and find a different avenue?
Okay, this is something that I feel a little bit strongly about, but I think fundamentally, because Dazai talks about the reason he joined the Port Mafia was because he thought that by doing so he would find a reason to live, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that Dazai is kind of like, oh, I'm willing to just give up, you know? I think fundamentally he is a person who very strongly wants to keep going and find a reason to live, even with his like it might seem contradictory with the way that he's always talking about you know, his tendencies and death and things like that. But I think that he would try to find other avenues for the sake of that.
I guess I'll highlight it this way, right? Would he risk his own life to save others?
I guess it
What is
would
the
depend on who.
what is the value of his life?
Hmm.
Rain's just quietly like on the side, like
No, I'm just thinking because like what value does he give to his own life?
right versus the lives of others, and especially when your best friend or your first ever friend tells you to save others, doesn't that kind of already give other people's lives a little bit more value compared to yours?
I would say
Absolutely.
so. Yes, absolutely.
So then what if Atsushi, or I guess even this version of Dazai, Aku, for whatever reason in the future are in trouble or in some sort of situation, um, and it's either them or yourself? I don't know.
Mm,
I think we're already starting to see aspects of that come through.
Hmm.
yeah. If I'm quiet, it's because I'm reliving the pain. I think we all can understand.
Because it's
Yeah.
like for Oda, if Dazai is the way into the future, then is Atsushi the way into the future for Dazai?
Mm. Ooh. Wait. I like that. I like that a lot.
Hmm. But yeah, also, isn't it? I mean, I love Odazaku. It's one of my favorite characters. But the thing he says in the end, like the purpose that he gives to Daizai, isn't it like it may be seen as slightly egotistical?
Uh-huh.
Like
But
I'm just wondering because
he's giving him a purpose, right?
yes, absolutely. And I agree. I wouldn't change anything about these episodes and this backstory because it's one of my favorite arcs uh, in all Bungo Stray Dogs. But at the same time, we have seen Dazai.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we know that he doesn't want to be there. Like, he kind of tried to find a purpose joining the Port Mafia, but at the same time, he's always like on the verge of death and trying to leave this world because he said it also during the last meetup with Ango and Oda. He said like it doesn't like that's not worth the pain.
Oh, the nothing is worth pursuing at the cost of prolonging a life of suffering.
Absolutely, exactly that. So I mean, yes, Odazaku kind of gives him like a purpose, a really big one, but isn't this kind of forcing, like we said earlier, his mask onto Dazai? Like, I mean, it's a very powerful scene, and of course, if like I were like, if I would be in Dazai's shoes, I would probably do the same thing, like trying to grant my best friend's last wish.
Right.
But at the same time, it puts a lot of weight on my own life and on the life of others, and it's kind of the opposite.
No, 100%. Like it adds a lot of weight. And is it egotistical in a way? Yeah, but that's sort of the main thing is, it's kind of a self-fulfilling. What do you try and do at the end of your life is, you try and try and find another way to live. And at times it makes it hard for those that are still alive, even while you die. So in a big way, I guess if you really want to put it this way, um, yeah, Oda gave Dazai a heavy cross to carry with him as he goes into the future. Because ultimately, it's like, hey, as a friend, I know you're not going to find your answers this way, but maybe you could try and find it this way and making a change and doing stuff that I couldn't get to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I think Oda is goated as an individual. Kind of wish Oda would have told him that like before he was dying, like hey, let's go get drinks and hey, you're a friend and I hope that we can change your ways and do good. It's a
I
little
think that like Oda, like it's very much like I think he felt that like Dazai was like out of reach in a way, and they kind of show this. So the scene where Dazai kind of fails to grab Oda when he's kind of on his march for death.
Yeah.
In that one scene, there's like a parallel scene in I think it's
Yes.
episode 1 where when they confront the mimic soldiers in the alleyway and Dazai, it's like the first instance where they treat his whole like his tendencies and his desire for death like more seriously. And Oda tries to grab the back of Dazai's coat when he's putting his head in front of the mimic soldier's gun. And I think that like Oda felt that Dazai was kind of out of reach and he didn't know what to do to try and talk to him or like set him on a different path. And that last moment of his life, it's like he's regretting not saying goodbye to his friend. He's probably regretting not being able to do more. This is sort of like, if I'm going to say anything, I'm going to do it now.
Right. But well, and I was gonna say in those moments, right? Because ultimately, like it hits the main theme is like if you're gonna die, you're gonna like you're trying to pass on any last knowledge, anything like that. But you're in a big way, both of you are right in this, right? Both of them, like they were never at that level where they were able to go ahead and do so because there were different elements. But before even that, when they're at the bar and they're drinking, like those are like drunk conversations that you can have with your friends, and be like, I'm gonna be straight up and let me just tell you your truths, right? But it's funny that they never got to that it was just very like, because I don't know. I still think that Dazai in a way, shape, or form saw himself as Oda's kid. It's the best way I can put it. Or as a good friend there. But also, what do you mean Ango is still alive?
I mean, they never show him dying, do they?
So then we're going to see him in the coming aspect, and he's probably working for the Port Mafia, yeah? Not the Americans, but probably the Port Mafia at this point in time.
I mean...
I'm American now.
He was kind of... when they were on the boat, Mori was like, how does it feel being back at your old job? So...
But that's why I'm saying is like if everything was just, I'm not even gonna get started on Mori. If everything was just convoluted inside of itself, then ultimately, that's Oh, I just want to
I
have one last drink with my friends, knowing full well sort of where things are going and that Oda was being sentenced to
Yeah.
death. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I do think that Ongo wanting to be able to like set aside their professions and come together again as friends was like genuine, but it's still like like this is really, it's like a fucked situation, you know.
Yeah.
I will say, what are your thoughts on Ongo now that because it was revealed that Mori was the one pulling the strings behind this whole mimic situation, right? And so what are your current thoughts on your Ongo mastermind
Oh, he's still a mastermind.
whiteboarding?
No, he's still a mastermind because you still have to pull through and be a quadruple agent. At any point in time, he could have stopped. At any point in time, he could have chosen to do something different, but he didn't. So he prioritized, in the same way that Oda, at any point in time, he could have done something different, but they didn't, right? They all fell through with like what fate had in store for them. Even though there was agents of change, and even like that's a big thing that this Bungo Stray Dogs keeps showcasing, right? Is like you have the capacity for change. You guys keep showcasing it. They all had the capacity to stop this at any point in time, but yet no one wanted to, and so or no one chose to, right? Due to circumstances, due to Mori being at a higher level, or whatever you guys want to go ahead and call it. At any point in time, Ango could have chosen to be like, "Hey, you guys, I prioritize my relationships with you guys over this work environment," or whatever it could have been. So him playing the quadruple agent and going through this, would you still consider that a friend?
I do think like he has like a genuine care, and like I think that like their friendship is a very real thing, but it's again like sort of like, okay, Ongo's a flawed man. He fucked up, and it ultimately led to that collapse.
I mean, it's true that he could have stopped, and I mean there is this the possibility to sacrifice themselves to save others and their friends, but at the same time my question is, was he in a position to actually decide to stop?
I mean, are you in a position to change?
Yes,
that depends
but
on
there's
the
also
environment.
the environment too, because you have to consider he's effectively being watched by 3 organizations, right?
That were set up purposely by Mori, that he was aware of.
Yeah, I mean, still, if he abandons what his job is, what consequences will that have for him?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's okay.
It's
sorry.
It's the same circumstances that were gonna happen to his supposed friends, right? So he's an individual that's a-okay to that his friends and individuals that are out there for them to die, but him suffering any circumstances, no, absolutely not.
Well, the difference I think between Dazai, Oda, and Ango is that while Dazai and Oda are I don't know, kind of already half dead when we meet them, as we can see, like after the incident with the little children, Oda completely loses his mind, and I mean Dazai is Dazai. Ango actually cares about his life. He values his life. So I think the thought of saving my friends, but I think it's different for Ango.
Yeah.
So Ango's life over orphans and Oda and potentially Dazai.
I don't know. I feel like it's hard because I don't feel like it's like entirely like as I don't know if callous is the right word, or like self-serving as that, because I do think that Ango does he does get shown to value life, at least in some capacity as well. When Dazai and Oda first met him, right, he was creating like records of the dead. He didn't like the treatment of treating people and their lives like numbers. So I think that's another layer too. It's just like, I think it's
By the way,
it's
I'm
very
giving
complex.
I'm pushing back, not because I think it's that cut or dry or anything like that. As I mentioned, I think he's a quintuple agent and he's in it for himself as well at any point in time. You
Oh yeah,
know,
absolutely.
but I'm just showcasing, like, in this regard, right? Is he is a flawed individual. He is a completely flawed individual. But it's important to not go ahead and like bring him up as like an individual that's like, oh my god, like he's so great, and it's like, no, he's
Oh, no,
a
no, I
flawed,
don't think.
scared individual that, you know, is prioritizing his safety over everything else. And does he have purposes for doing it? Sure, right? Everyone does. But in a regard like this, it's like, you know, ultimately at the end of the day, he knew what was happening. He might have had other circumstances that may come through, and I expect to see him in the coming episodes, probably trying to help out the port mafia in some capacity.
Oh,
I'm here for that.
My defense isn't like defense as in like anything like what he chose to do was okay. It's just like, oh, I think these are the circumstances, not like I don't think he's flawed, because I think if you don't consider him a flawed character, he becomes boring. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, him and
Yeah.
Mori as well. I hate to put it this way, but Mori is yeah, he's a very interesting character. Like,
oh yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. Is like, I think Mori has a lot of spice to him, and I appreciate that, because ultimately, otherwise, it would just be a boring character. But having someone that, like, you know, you could destroy or not destroy, but you could look into all the various reasonings that he does is interesting. And I guess I have a question for you guys. What is Mori's relationship to the detective agency at the moment, aside from Dazai?
We don't know.
Okay, but more specifically, what is Mori's relationship to characters like Rampo or like Yosano?
Like, in terms of like if he has any connections with individual people, or just like what do his personal relations? Oh, okay. We don't know.
Right now, we don't know.
Currently, we've
So
only seen him interact with other Port Mafia and Dazai at the moment.
yeah,
And
we
the
have seen
government, I guess.
Rampo. We've seen Rampo in the flashback, but we have never seen Mori actually interacting with other members of the agency.
Yeah. Wait, I have to get up for like 1 minute. Keep chatting. I will be back.
Okay.
What is Mori's past relationships? That's where I'm getting interested in.
Like, his character is it's really, really interesting, but I would love to beat the crap out of him. But at the same time, if I were actually in front of him, I would be scared, like shitless.
Okay, human wise, he reminds me of a previous boss I used to work with, so I'm like not really scared of him. Ability wise, yeah, you know, ability wise would be interesting, I guess. You know, if you want to, like, you know, it's like how far does his powers go, or what can he actually like jump through and do, and how can he destroy us in any capacity, right? But like, I don't know, like person wise, I'm like, he just reminds me of a toxic boss.
You know what, like Mori, like if I were to make a comparison about the type of character Mori is to me, he's like a slightly less, like he's like my Gendo Ikari Evangelion, but like slightly not as bad.
See,
If that makes sense. Like, it's just I like you love to hate him, and there's a lot of he's an interesting character, but he does bad things.
which comes
Yeah.
which comes my main question, Pidge, is where did this come from? This resource gathering like this. I'm assuming that he must have been hurt. So tell me about it, Rain. What was the war like for this world?
What?
What was the war like for this world?
I mean, look at Mimic.
I'm not
Yeah.
asking about Mimic. I'm asking about specifically for Mori.
We don't know. Could have been important. I mean, for him to act in a certain way, surely something happened.
Well, considering that some of the other characters, it's kind of all alluding towards like individuals in the past have all been a part of a war or of a greater element in here. Yeah, or was he just a spectator? But still, it's actively taking part in some capacity. So it's making me wonder what happened in this great war, in this great element. Not necessarily. By the way, I don't think that Mori is bad as a character. He's exciting. He's exciting to watch. Yeah. That's why I'm like, he's such an interesting character. But at the same time, I want to break him, Like,
Yeah. Me too.
Me too.
I'm just already so angry just thinking about him.
Oh no, he makes me so mad. He makes me so mad. I'm fascinated by him, but he makes me so mad.
Yes. Like, I would never ever want to interact with him. Like, never. But if I could, I would punch him like straight in the face.
it does make me wonder one thing, which is how long do executives have before they get the Oda treatment?
And that's a really nice question.
And reason I say this is because individuals that, a lot of individuals that, land to positions of power that may have a lot of trauma, hurt people. That's a big thing, right? And that may be on the APD spectrum at times. It's hard for them to maintain the relationships consistently. And because ultimately there can be aspects of paranoia that start coming through. The longer you stay there, the more that you'll plot against me. The more that like you're just a tool to be used. It's like, by the way, not everyone's like this. There are layers. It's an empathy bar meter, but when you're in a position of power like a CEO or something at an insane level like that, and you're used to killing and hurting others, it's, can you trust anyone other than yourself?
This is really interesting, actually. When Oda first meets Mori in his office, Mori tells Oda that he believes in like 4 to 5 years. He thinks that Daze would have killed him and taken the Port Mafia like leadership role for himself.
But do you think that he would have allowed for Daze to do that?
And that's where I was heading to. Like, he said 4 or 5 years. So the question is, would Mori allow other executives to take his place as the next leader? Or would he like use the Oda treatment?
Yeah, the Oda treatment.
Let's go with that.
Because he says that as a leader, like, it's sort of, you also have to be a slave to the organization, right? Do you think that's something that he genuinely like sticks to, be like, oh, I will do, like, I'll sacrifice myself for the sake of the organization? Or do you think ultimately it would fall apart when someone threatens his position?
Oh, I'll showcase this, right? I used to work for an organization with the executive that was very much like Mori, with the extreme narcissism, antisocial personality disorders, if we're going to go into it, right? One of the big things that they brought up was they were in their late 70s, early 80s. They're trying to go into retirement. And they're like, it's always for the organization, for the company. even though individuals might have had, the best glowing recommendations, do you think that they accepted them to be their replacement?
Not really.
Why not?
Well, you lose on your position, you lose on all sorts of things, whether that's like status or the money you're making. Like if you feel like you're losing out on something, you probably don't want to give it up, right?
Correct. And
But they were about to retreat, like
they were thinking
go
about
to
retiring.
retreatment,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So technically, they weren't losing anything.
So you would think, right? And that's exactly the thought process that came through, right? Which is they thought, hey, I'm going to go ahead and step out, right? I think that's it. But then it turned into my legacy. What if they ruin my legacy? What if they ruin everything that, like, they might have the proper credentials or whatnot, but what if they they do this, right? What if all of a sudden, like, they blame all the stuff that happened in the past on me, which I mean technically, yeah, right? And it just keeps spiraling into that thought process of like, well, it's not me, right? So unless it's taken by force, like, it is essentially, it exacerbates the cycle that Mori kind of is looking into at the moment.
I didn't think about that.
So I am thinking the
I
Oda
love these questions.
Yeah, I'm like this is really interesting. I love like dissecting this guy.
And that's the main thing is, like, unless it's done by force, individuals like that, like, for example, in that case, it would have been like the board of directors coming through and being like, hey, you know what, like, it is time for you to retire. There are other people out there that may not have all the experience that you've had or all the whatever that may be, but they'll get there, right? And it's for the best of the organization. But considering that there might not be a board of directors or other people on top of Mori, I don't think Mori is going to try and give that position. So it's going to have to go ahead and be by force. And I'm assuming that that's the way that this is probably done in this world, right? So who was there before Mori? And did Mori have to take it by force?
In maybe in a way like kill or be killed,
right?
Like that.
In a way, yeah, because it becomes your livelihood, right? It becomes who we are. No worries, Aku. Have a good night. Be safe. Happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah. Wait, is it Aka's?
No, Dazai. Oh, is it Kimchi's birthday?
Oh yeah, it's Kimchi's birthday as well.
Yes.
Happy birthday, Kimch. Yeah, so I guess, do you guys think that Mori had to take the organization by force from his predecessor?
How long do you think he's been there, I guess?
And by the way, by force, I don't necessarily mean like coming through and guns blazing. He could just be master manipulating everything to get the individual to die, or coming through with I don't know. They step into a room and they get splatted. They get the Oda treatment or something, because he can find the way, shape, or form to get something to happen. So by force, I don't necessarily mean him going up and directly confronting. It could be like anything like that.
Yeah, it's just like anything. Like, this wouldn't have happened naturally on its own.
Yeah, like he could probably, I don't know, hire a hitman, assassination, something like that. I can see that happening. But anyway, how long has he been there? Good question. I don't know. That's a good question to ask. I don't know. But I am excited to see the Americans back at it whenever they come back.
Again with the Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't wait for them to get destroyed. Like, yeah.
We're getting rid of these Americans. Stat.
But it's like, how much
Oh my god.
Like, and that's sort of a big fear that I had, is like, how much turmoil is this going to turn into? Like, considering, I'm like already looking at how they are. It's like, can this essentially end up damaging Japan and Yokohama as a whole?
I mean,
I mean,
they seem to be a pretty big organization, right?
Yeah, which are
Or at
flaunting a lot of
least
money around.
powerful. Like with the suitcase of money. I mean, they technically are powerful.
I guess
So
it's like the uncertainty of like you know, you've got ability users. What could they possibly have on hand? You know.
Mhm. Exactly. And what specifically their power. That's sort of where I'm scared about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but anyway, final questions, guys, because I do have to go to bed and cry.
okay. I do have one thing to say and one question.
Okay.
The first thing to say is, can we just take a few seconds to appreciate the voice actors? Because personally, they did such a great job, especially in this last episode.
Oh
I
yes.
mean, that hurts me every time.
Kenjiro Tsuda as Oda, especially like the scream in the
Yeah.
at the end of the last episode. It's like, oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah.
The whole
Yeah,
episode
and
was peak,
Mamoru
though.
Miyano.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. Yeah. So anyway,
Oh wait.
question. Sorry, did you want to say?
Oh no, I
something?
messed up. It's Junichi Soabe, not Kenjiro Tsuda. I got it mixed up in my head. Both deep voiced men. Oopsie.
It's okay. So my question is, talking about the psychological effects of watching your own death several times. Like, if you had Oda's ability, like, how does this affect you psychologically? Like, having to witness your own death and potentially feeling your own pain.
Well, there's an
multiple
entire
times.
series where I talk about this called ReZero. Where quite literally the main individual has the power to return by death, essentially. No, it is great. It is essentially it is just that you're just traumatizing yourself every single time, and you're probably getting PTSD continuously.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. What do you think about the last scene where he, like, Oda grabs onto Dazai? Was it because maybe he was trying to nullify his own ability?
Absolutely could be. At the same time, I think that considering that they're not really touchy-feely people, right? And they've never been able to like get each other. For me, it was more like, you know what, the agents of change are within them, considering that like he put his hands on Dazai to make him realize that this is not a joke. This is like, you know, the future's in your hands type of thing. It's one of those elements of time where you're saying like, hey, you know, all this time we haven't been able to connect, right? We haven't had the ability to connect with rope, connect anything like that. Now I've called you a friend, and now I'm letting you know, like, the future is in your hands, and this is what I think. And that's one of the few moments where it's a grounding literary technique to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The writing in this series is just amazing.
I had one thing. I was talking about this with people in the VC before, but there's kind of like it's a real gut punch to have Dazai, of all people, who himself hasn't like found a reason to live in everything, being the person to tell Oda, like, in his desperation, that you have to believe that something good will come in your future and you have to hold on to something. Like, coming from a person like Dazai, it's like, it's really painful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of gut punches in this episode. That's why I'm like, what? Why are you guys making me watch torture? Like,
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
y'all are mean.
But yeah, I know. I'm sorry. But yeah, this show, this story I call it, I always call it like my comfort show, but there's little to no comfort.
See, there's comfort in the message, but like the actual like content is like people going through the
Suffering.
horrors all the time. Because like again, like one of the reasons why I like this whole flashback section so much is because of like the message. It kind of it strongly brings up with the you always have an opportunity to change thing.
Mm.
Like that's something that I really really love about it. So like I think you can get like a lot of comfort from that, even if it's coming from such a place of like despair, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's comfort in at the same time in processing your own pain as well. I hate to put it like throw it that way, right? But sometimes when you see a character go through like the impossible and you're going through stuff as well, you find comfort in that. If they can do it, why can't you? Maybe that gives you a little bit extra days to keep going or whatever that may be. And that's why I think Bungo is so powerful, because it connects with a lot of individuals that have been hurt as well.
Yeah, totally. Like, I cannot tell you the details, but I got a sentence tattooed.
Oh my god, yeah.
Dedicated, yeah, to this story. So you'll see when the time will come. But yeah, it really, it's so sad, like the story, the message, everything, but at the same time it kind of gives you hope, and also it can give you comfort in like through the pain.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, it's kind of twisted, but it works.
You mean we're just trauma bonding with the characters?
I mean,
Yeah,
the author did say it's Bungo is for people who aren't good at living, and I think that a big thing with a lot of these characters is that they're all kind of desperately kind of trying to find a way forward, you know?
Yep.
Yep.
Well, with that being said, alrighty, y'all, I do gotta take off here. But I appreciate
Let's
y'all.
go to, I don't know, cry.
Yeah, let's go cry. But also, make sure that Bungo wins, right? Or whatever your favorite anime video game is. Please make sure you guys follow up on that.
Vote for
Please
my
lock
presentation.
in.
For my presentation.
Yeah,
yes.
Lock it. I don't even know if it's. Are you presenting on it? You're presenting on it.
I'm presenting for the OVA in the movie because that's after season 2. So.
It would be if whoever presents, like if somebody presents on season 3 and season 3 wins, but the OVA and movie doesn't, that's on y'all. That is on y'all. I was very clear about it,
guys.
I kind of assumed it would be like we present on one thing, and it's just kind of naturally like what goes in order. So
you're like, now I'm terrified.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, because I was gonna be like, I'll just like be like, hey, we should continue in general. But I was thinking that like if the subathon keeps going and it's like we have like another round of voting, I would do season 3 after if we get through the OVA in the movie. So
well, that's absolutely it, right? Like if we get through the OVA and the movie, we can throw up season 3 to be voted on.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to organize a list of presentations.
Like that's
we need to lock in.
It's gonna be very interesting because from what I've heard is people are choosing some very good anime and games that might contest a little bit for the spots that are available. So.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of really good suggestions that I've seen.
By the way, for game slots, it depends. I think I have 4 slots for the time period. So for slots per day, so it just depends, you know. I think at the moment 2 of them are secured, which is Witch Hat, and then the rest of season 2. But then the other slots that are available, who knows? I mean, anyone or anything can take it up. So, alrighty. Well, with that being said, y'all, have a good night. Be safe. I appreciate your rain, Vince, as always. Both of you have been in my dreams lately. I hope both of you are doing okay. Legitimately, like some of the dreams have been a little sad, so I hope you guys are okay. And if you're not, let me know. Like we'll find help, support, whatever you guys may need. And for
Yeah.
anyone as well. That's just my dream version of you guys was like not in a good place.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You take care as
please
well,
update
too, so.
me. Update me on my dream version, please.
Me too. You gotta let me know the deets.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, bye y'all. Be safe.
Bye. Take care, Ed.
Bye.
And with that being said, y'all, please have a good night. Practice some self-care. And yeah, come and join us for the subathon. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Be safe, y'all. Have a good night.